Yo ak stasyon radyo an pa gen oken responsabilite pou ere a komisyon pou resous yo prezante ak informasyon ki deja disponib nan publik lan an jeneral. Prezentate yo ak stasyon radyo an pa gen oken afilyasyon avek ajansi ki prezante.
We all can agree that raising a family in these times is challenging, with everything being so exposed and accessible through social media and the influence that come along with it. How do we find the balance?
Does your child feel confined and has no outlet?
Sasha, meet me in the bathroom so we can take our Instagram pics, because you know once I get home they won't let me out.
Would your child come to you when they need help?
Mom, I'm in trouble and I don't know what to do.
Do you know the signs when your child is crying out for help?
Nicholson, you don't listen. The school has called me and now I have to attend another school meeting. This time you lose your video games for 2 months.
Do you and your family need access to resources?
I lost my job. How will we get our bills paid?
Does your family have expectations and boundaries for mutual respect and understanding?
I am the man of the house, but my family does not respect me.
Finally, a show where families can feel supported and get resources for guidance during these troubled times. Presented to you by Good News Community Action. Family Matters, a radio show, aired every Saturday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. A new segment discussing all things and situations relating to families. Family Matters Discussions, a radio show for everyone to listen together.
Good afternoon, Good News family. This is Elna coming to you live at WYGG Good News Radio, presenting Family Matters, which is a show presented to you by Good News Community Action every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And just in case if you miss us, you can listen to us again on Sundays from 3 to 5. And there are many ways for you to listen. You can go to WYGG Good News Radio, goodnewsradiotv.com. You can tune into Facebook to tune in WYGG. Via phone, if you'd like to dial in, you can dial 518-906-1596. I would like to translate that again in Creole for our Creole listeners. Bienvenue dans nouveau segment qui relève affaires de famille qui présenté pour de Good News Community Action chaque samedi 4h vers 5h dans l'après-midi. Si que ou manquez tande nous aujourd'hui, on table tande nous de Monsieur Dieu dimanche 3h à 5h ou attendez et puis qu'il y a l'autre gens qui ou attendez. Ou attendez nous sur WYGG Good News Radio Station radiotv.com ou bien aller sur Facebook tune in WYGG. Si vous avez nous sur numéro de téléphone, nous carrelé 518-906-1596. Merci beaucoup parce que vous écoutez Radio Bonne Nouvelle, Family Matters. Today we have a great topic for you. We're going to discuss real estate and how to go through the process of buying a home. Je dis à nous gagnons un bon sujet pour nous partager ensemble avec nous. On a parlé de real estate, qui gens que nous can aller dans le process là ou bien continuer dans le process là pour nous can acheter caille. Et moi-même, moi c'est Elna, moi c'est un realtor dans l'État de New Jersey. Et puis, je suis ensemble avec moi aujourd'hui, my co-host, Gregory Jean. He himself is a realtor as well. Nous travaillons ensemble, lycée realtor, travaillons ensemble dans l'agence. Nous là dans la communauté pour nous aider, public, communauté haïtienne, tout le monde, si que nous voulons acheter un caille, nous voulons connaître qui gens pour nous acheter caille, qui premier bagage que vous avez pour faire. Qui gens crédit ou supposé hier, combien corps ou besoin, tout bagay sa yo, nous ka aider ou éduquer ou pour nous ka dire tout ça que ou besoin connaître les que ou acheter un caille. I'm going to allow my my co-host to just greet you guys and then we're going to continue on. Greg, do you have anything to say?
Hi, my name is Gregory Jean, and as Elda said, I'm a realtor been a realtor for over a year now, and we are basically here just to talk about the home buying process and the steps to you becoming a homeowner.
Okay. And I would like to thank Gregory Jean, for coming with me in the studio today. When I asked him, he was very willing and made himself available. And I know today it's a nice day to be at home, relaxing and just enjoying
Yes.
yourself with your family.
Yes.
And he thought it not robbery to come here to be with us to share this very important information, because it's at the core of who we are, to be able to educate, to encourage, and to empower the public in everything that we know, so that you too can be informed, and so you can know how to go about purchasing a home. So when we think about why is it important, Greg,
Yes.
for individuals to engage in the real estate market and to be part of it and to own property, what are some of the things that comes to mind?
So investment, yeah. You know, big investment cafe, no view. Generational wealth. You know, mon Haïti, bagay ki pi important pour yo, c'est lo acheter terre, et puis lo gagner terre. It's the same here, lo États-Unis. Buying land, having home ownership is something that creates the biggest generational wealth that you could have for yourself, your kin, pretty much your family, children, whomever. That's one of the biggest and most important reasons why people buy home and why home ownership is important.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I have a background in psychology, and I remember reading
Same.
how important it is for, oh yeah, you do too,
Yes.
because believe it or not, Greg and I have similar backgrounds, but we never met until last year?
Yes.
So we're both Haitian. We both are from the community of Neptune,
Yes.
right? We both ended up going to school at Montclair State University.
No, I went to New Jersey City University.
You went to New Jersey City,
Yes.
Okay. And then we both went to, I thought you went to Montclair State, but okay, I digress on that one. But we both ended up going to work for the state of New Jersey,
Yes.
Division of Child Protection and Permanency.
Yes. Same degree.
Same degree. We got the
Yes.
same degree. And then we both ended up with the same
Broker.
broker,
We both got licensed
real estate.
around the same time.
We were
Yes.
licensed around the same time.
Yes.
So it's like amazing, right?
Yes.
So I'm so happy to have met you, and we have like
Same.
mind visions, mind goals. And so we actually have formed a team, right?
Yes.
So that we can hit the ground running and tackle this real estate business, so that we can help our people, you know, the Haitian community, and everyone else who wants to be helped. You know, we're not going to discourage anyone. We're going to encourage people. And so that's why this topic is so important for the community. Parce que nous voulons éduquer communauté pour yo connaître qui jan ke pour yo acheter un kay. Nous voulons encourager yo pour yo connaître, pour yo ka kwe, yo même tout yo ka acheter kay pour yo mette timoun yo, pour timoun yo ka grandi, pour yo ka gen self-esteem. And that's what I was about to say. When we went as a psychology student, we learned that a child's self-esteem is much more improved when they live in a home as opposed to an apartment. Because what does living in a home do for you that living in an apartment cannot do for you?
It's a sense of stability.
Mhm.
One, ownership.
Yes.
Local by Cebu, or you take much more care of it
That's
versus something that's not yours,
That's
something
right.
that doesn't belong to you.
That's right. And then there's more space, you know.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about the kids running around making noise. You know, if you live upstairs and there's a tenant downstairs, you know, they're getting upset with you because your kids are making noise and stuff like that. Or, you know, it's so cramped because it's an apartment.
Right.
There's a backyard where most of the time there's a backyard where they can run around and play, and they're free. And like you said, the most important thing is sense of ownership. Like, this piece of earth belongs to me. No one can take it away. The only way it gets taken away, of course, is if you don't continue to pay for it and own it outright. But even still, they have to go through a rigorous process in which to make that happen.
Correct.
And you still have opportunities on top of opportunities to keep your property. So, and then what you said about building wealth,
Yes.
right? Because once you own a home, it's going to appreciate in value,
Yes.
and you can pull from that equity so that you can give your children or your family better opportunities to education, to going on vacations and doing wonderful things that you normally would not be able to do because you don't have that kind of money.
Yes. And one of the things that I noticed, before mon travail, mon blanc, si par yo gen kay, mon ti mon rete avec yo, là yo fini collège, yo fin pour éducation yo, le yo pare pour quitter la kay yo. The parents will take the equity from the home, put a down payment on a home for their child,
That's right.
bringing down or it could be 20%, bringing down the interest, the cost and how much you're paying out monthly on it. So you do that, that house is paid for typically, or more than half of it is paid for sometimes, depending on how much you put down. And that gets you even closer to owning that property.
Greg, what you just said was so important. I think you should repeat that in Creole so that our Creole listeners can understand how important this is.
Yes. So, si on achète un kay, puis faut mon travail yo, c'est mon blanc. Parents yo gen un kay. Si yo si ti moun tava vle acheter un kay, parents va prendre cob, yo fait sous kay la. Et puis bay ti moun yo cob nan pour yo mettre down payment nan. C'est 20%, c'est 10%, 50%, n'importe ça li hein. Yo mette le soli, ça veut dire cob nan ti moun ap dépenser chaque mois pour yo payer pour kay la, ap diminuer. Yo pas payer ça, yo t'a payer pour les si yo te mette 3% ou bien 3.5%. Si yo ka mette, that's fine, but il diminue. C'est payer pour toute raison. Lo achète un kay, like Elna said, they appreciate and it appreciates over time. So c'est comme what fait on profit lié pretty much.
Lo loué kay ou paye kay la chaque mois. Comme ça, li pou ale nan poche moun ki met kay la.
Yes.
Ou même ou pas jwenn rien.
Oui.
Parce que au travail dit, même jan le travail dit, hein, mais ou ba le kob ou te fait le travail là, ou même ou pas gen rien.
Oui.
So, sou te achete un kay, on y a ou paye kay ki pa ou, et puis l'on fin paye li, ou bien, like you said, de temps en temps, le temps fin passe, as time goes on, li vin apresye, kon y a ou vin gen equity, ou bien ekite nan kay la,
Oui.
et puis comme ça, ou ka souvan kay la, ou achete ba, ou van wo,
Oui.
kon y a ou rale tout comme ça yo. Gen moun yo fè sa ta kon career, right?
Yes.
Some families, and Jean Greg Dinois, moun blanc yo. Jean yo fè li, gen moun yo ba travay, yo achete kay, yo te gen on kob paske yo te gen fami yo ki te mouri, ki te kob pou yo na life insurance.
Yes.
Ki ba yo kob, kon ya yo achete kay ansama avek kob la.
Oui.
Le yo fin achete kay la, yo rete an titan an da kay la.
2-3 ans.
2-3 ans de Kaila, qu'on y a Kaila vin monter un paquet de cob, yo vend ni bien wo, qu'on y a yo rale cob ça, yo vend Kaila, yo move aller dans l'autre Kaila, yo fait même bagay la all over again.
Oui.
Yo fait l'argent.
C'est comme ça yo fait l'argent sur lui.
C'est comme ça, peuple haïtien, nous besoin penser comme ça, nous besoin pour nous commencer entrer dans affaire real estate pour nous ka acheter kay. Et puis aider petites nous acheter kay, aider petites nous acheter kay. Si que yon ti moun yo bien quand ti moun yo vin mando pour signer ensemble avec yo pour acheter un kay parce que m connais gen moun ki pa reme bagay sa pour yo co-sign on moun.
Non.
Sou ka fè un bagay kon sa pour un moun ki nan famille ou, moi encourage pour faire si que ou gen bon crédit parce que c'est bon crédit a kap aider pour intérêt bas. pour yo pas payer plus kob parce que ou même ou gen bon crédit.
Oui. C'est bon
Mais
qu'il y ait confiance, ouais.
faut que yo travaille pour aider payer note là parce que
Exactement.
li pas bon sou entrer dans bail comme ça et puis mon nan pas payer note là et puis ou perdre kay là et puis ap gâter crédit ou tout.
Oui.
Okay. So Konya nous parler de pros and cons of owning a house, right? The other thing I wanted to say was we want to empower our community, to get involved and to get engaged, to just not sit by and let everybody else enjoy this beautiful earth that God has given us, this life that God has given us. But we have to enjoy it too. And the way you are going to enjoy it is if you have the means and the resources to be able to do some of the things that you're interested in, you know?
Education.
Yes.
Yes.
Nous besoin by pouvoir ensemble avec tout le monde pour nous ka penser moi-même tout moi ka acheter kay et puis moi-même tout moi ka prendre décision ensemble avec confidence que on ka jouer tout gens dans vie parce que moi gagner ressources moi gagner gens pour me faire bagay parce que yo moi éduqué moi kon ki gens pour faire et puis si m'pa connais moi kon ki moun mal demander.
Right.
Okay, so the pros and cons of owning a house. Do you want to take it?
So the pros and cons. The pro, one of the first things we mentioned, stability, peace of mind. Lo achton kay, ou konen se pou liye, wap travay pou un bagay paske ou konen la way pou. The con, you pay taxes on it. Lo achton kay, faut payer tax sur li. C'est même genre lo travail chaque année faut file tax ou c'est même genre. So tu vas mettre 20, moins que 20%, it's already built into the mortgage. Banque na paye tax. Ou paye tax na, mais yo banque na prend pour mettre en côté et puis chaque année là pour payer property tax na, banque na paye pour. The second
Can I add something to that con? Because we're going to turn every con into a positive, right? So when you talk about the con of ownership is paying taxes, guess what? When you're renting, you're also paying taxes. Your
Correct.
landlord just didn't tell you that. That's why the cost of renting
Goes
is
up.
significantly high because you're paying those extra fees.
correct. Yeah, so that's why it goes up every I think for rent sometimes it's $20, $10, $15.
Absolutely.
C'est parce que c'est moun nan ki gen kay la, y a paye tax. Ça veut dire tax yo monte, so ça fait yo monte et kay la. L'autre pro, nous te parlé de ça, equity nan kay la, kon pou fè sou kay la. So acheter pour 300,000 après 5 ans, 6 ans, ou ta va le vendre li, et puis qu'on y a l'op vendre li 400,000. Ça veut dire vous faites 100 pour 100,000, 100,000 sur les equity. Con maintenance. N'importe problème ou gen nan kay la, ou pa ka rele au monde et ou pa ka rele landlord nan di mes problèmes ça, m'besoin moun vin ranger. Si ou pour rele au monde, c'est ou même ka paye. You're the one that's going to have to pay for it. Zebla, sou besoin peinture, cutting trees, so t'as un problème et toilette, l'eau, n'importe problème, c'est au même cap et dépenser comme. And for what I was saying, basically the maintenance and the cost of owning a home, whether it's getting the roof done, lawn maintenance, plumbing, any type of issue or anything that comes up that needs to be repaired, you're the one that's taking it out of your pocket and basically, spending the money for it versus if you're renting, you call the landlord, they call someone over and then they send someone and it costs you nothing, typically.
If they respond.
Correct.
The pros of owning a home. The next one is you can control your payments with a fixed mortgage.
Yes.
You know exactly what your house costs, how much it's going to cost you next month. When you're owning a home, when you own a home, we encourage people to get into a fixed mortgage. I don't ever want anyone talking to me about variable mortgage, adjustable mortgage.
Yes.
No, don't talk to me about that. I don't think it's a good idea. I would not recommend anyone to get involved in that.
Yeah.
You have to know exactly, because you have to be on a budget.
Correct.
You know, because there's going to be things that's going to come up. You know,
Yes.
all of a sudden, I remember when we first bought our house, the first year everything was fine. The year after, and it's so funny because we did a home inspection. Everything is good. Everything's working good.
Yes.
You move into the home, all of a sudden everything starts to break down. So as soon as we moved into the house, the refrigerator went, and then it was the oven, and then it was the furnace, and all of these are big ticket items.
Yes.
The water heater. I mean, everything that you could think of started going wrong the year after. You know, so this is why it's important to have extra money saved aside. I think our slide talks about having 6 months of expenses saved for emergencies, because
Yes.
when you own a home, believe it, you and me, whatever could go wrong will likely go wrong.
Yes.
And so you have to be prepared for it.
Yes.
But the good thing is, you know, once you build equity in your home, and you know, you know what your monthly expenses are, and you budget, then you're able to save extra money aside for those emergencies that could go wrong.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And then the con is maintenance can be more expensive as a homeowner, like we just talked about, especially for those people who don't know how to do things themselves. Well, I would say to that, learn how to do things for yourself, right?
When you're a homeowner, YouTube is your best friend.
Exactly. Go to
Obviously.
YouTube, learn how to, you look up the videos, they show you somebody out there. They went through it and they want to share their knowledge
Yes.
with everybody. And they're not looking to get paid for it, but they just know that they were frustrated. And so they want to ease your frustration. And so they put a video up. So follow the steps and do exactly what it says. We've saved a lot of money that way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes I've tried myself, and because I've tried myself, sometimes I end up spending more money because I didn't do it correctly.
Mm-hmm,
But you know, all you have to do is try, you know, and do it. The more you do it, the better you'll become at it over time.
And so the next one is you can leverage ownership and to increase borrowing power. Because now you're a homeowner,
Yes.
you're showing the bank, you're showing the credit bureaus, look, I own this property and it costs $400,000 and my mortgage is $2,000 and I'm paying this mortgage every single month. So now they trust you. They say, okay, well, this person is good. They've never missed a payment, you know. So the next time you go to the bank to borrow money, they're going to look at that history and they're going to say, okay, yeah, this is a trustworthy person. This is a responsible person.
Correct.
Yes, we can let you borrow that $50,000 that you want to borrow.
Yeah.
The con is it can be difficult and expensive to move if you don't like your neighbors. Well, I hope no one's moving because of their neighbors.
Hopefully not. Yes. But when you want to buy a home, love national kai, konzi aiwakatia.
Yes.
Yes, you want to drive around, go see the neighborhood, you know, if it's at all times of the day during the week, because it'll make a big difference in you deciding if this is where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the last but not least one, when the pro in owning a home, you can make decisions about your future home. For example, like yard development, additional rooms, having a shed or a pool, etc. Lo acheter kayo, ou ka deside sa ou vle fè nan kay la. Of course, you got to go through township
City.
ordinance and go to the city, get permits and all that stuff. And they'll probably make you fill out forms and probably charge you a little bit. But that's okay. At the end of the day, it gets approved and you're able to do what you want to do with it, as opposed to if you live in an apartment or somewhere that belongs to someone else, you got to get their permission, even
Yes.
or ask them. And most of the time, it's no. They're gonna say no because it's gonna cost them more than it'll cost you, so they're not gonna do it.
Or it could cost you. They'll say, yes, you can do it, but when you're ready to move out, you have to.
You got to put it back the way it was.
And
yeah.
if there's any damage, you lose that security deposit or
Yep.
part of it.
Yep. So we're going to move on to some stats about home ownership. If I could say at any time, if anyone wants to call in, if you have a question, if you want our phone numbers, because we're both realtors, you want to engage with us in the business of real estate, you can give us a call on the air. We'll take down your name, and then we'll give you a call back later. But you can call in if you want to talk to us, 732-775-0220, 732-775-0220, or 732-775-0225. Again, 732-775-0225. And we're going to discuss right now some home ownership stats, right? So the very first one in 2022, and these are more recent stats, home ownership rate in the United States reached 66%.
Yes.
That means out of 100% of the people living in the United States, 66% of those groups of people own a house.
Yes.
What does that tell you? That's the way.
Yes. It's important to buy.
It's the way. Everybody's doing it.
Yes,
So why
it's-
should you be left out,
Yes.
right?
Especially coming from the last couple of years. The rise in home ownership, has increased. And it's only going to continue to increase, because there's still a lot of people who want to purchase and they see the value in buying a home.
Yeah, most people that I associate with and dialogue with and familiar with, that is a goal for them, is to own, a home.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to be bothered. They're like, oh, the responsibility, like I can't, I just want to pay someone and just live free.
No, encourage them
You know?
to buy.
Yeah.
I encourage the people in my sphere all the time. Buy. I'm not saying it because I'm a realtor. I'm saying it because I know the importance of it.
The importance
my
of it. Especially
family.
if you want to have
friends.
kids and a
Exactly.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to take the second one?
In 2021, the number of homeowner occupied homes rose to 83.48 million, a 10% boost over 2011. So people who actually not only buy real estate, but also live and reside in their home. And there is a difference. Homeowner, someone buying a home and turning it into a rental property, renting it out, and just not residing in it versus someone buying and residing in it. So in 10 years, it rose basically 1% every year from 2021 to 2011.
Wow.
Well, in reverse.
And then the typical home value in the U.S. reached $357,000 in 2022, which is a 13.5 increase compared to 2021. So tout le monde qui te gagne kayo, the average, I don't know how to say average, Kailan, li te moute prix yo c'est $357,000 dans 2022. So ça veut dire que si vous avez acheté un caille qui était $200,000,
Yeah.
dans 2022, il est arrivé $257,000. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
right? And that's the reason why you saw, like, when homes went on the market, they didn't last.
Nope.
Or when they had open houses, the lines were wrapped up around the block,
Correct.
to the point where police had to escort or be present because it's like a mob,
Yeah.
just to see one house,
Causing traffic issues.
Right, exactly.
I remember going to an open house with a client and the line was very long, and each person had their realtor with them because they knew how, they wanted to go there. If they wanted to put in an offer, they were right there already.
Be ready
it up. Yeah.
to do it. Yeah. Go ahead.
In October 2022, 632,000 new single-family houses were sold, a 5.8 decrease versus October 2021. So basically, the new homes that were sold in October 2022 decreased by almost 6%. And that's not surprising given, the way the market was at that time. I think a lot of people decided to, hey, let me take a break and then come back. And I'm seeing a lot more people starting to, inch their way back into the market and start looking. Those who may have been outbidded during that time and, because the lines were wrapped around the block and they couldn't afford
there was
anything.
nothing. There was no inventory.
Yeah.
Because there was there still is a housing shortage.
I think the inventory now is about 3 months worth. And what they mean by inventory is just basically how long it would take for every house that's on the market to be sold, which is an average of 3 months, which is very, very short, versus maybe 2-3 years ago where it was maybe 6 to 8 months.
And I know we have some really good stats here, so we're just going to read it right through because we have so much more information to get to. So household debt rose to 16 trillion in the third quarter of 2022. Mortgage debt accounted for 11.6 trillion. And then 80% of Americans age 65 own a home compared to only 37 of those who are under 35 years old. And this is the one I actually want to get to. Black Americans have the lowest rate of home ownership in the United States, 42%.
Yes. And there is a history behind why that is. Unfortunately, it's not our fault as far as Black Americans and why we don't have a higher percentage of Black Americans owning homes. But, we've been educated on it. And now is the time that for us to change that. We know why that is. How do we change it? And this is why we're here today, to give you knowledge, have those resources. And so, this is something I want to change. And this is why it's important for me to own a home.
Absolutely. So I encourage all of you out there to do the thing that you need to do, the things that you need to do to give yourself a shot, in this field of real estate, to be able to own a piece of the earth, something you can leave behind to your family, to your children, so you can start building that generational wealth and start to close that gap,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I have some quotes because I love quotes, right? So the first one, and you can help me read them too.
Yes.
The first one is by Maya Angelou. It says, "The ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned." So home is just a peaceful place. It's where you belong. It's where you're comfortable. It's where you can let your hair down and be yourself.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about anyone coming and saying, "Hey, this is my place,"
Yes. You're not going to want to go anywhere. It will become the definition of a homebody. You will become the definition of a homebody. Really. I see one here that's that I like. Home is full of love, laughter, and laundry.
Yes.
I just did like 5 loads today.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm
I like
jealous.
to do laundry, but I hate folding.
Me too. Me too. I say I'm allergic to that and ironing.
Yes.
Oh, and this one's good, by Mark Twain. Remember reading his books when we were in school?
Yes.
Buy land. They aren't making it anymore. Isn't that true?
Yep.
They never made it. It was God. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's already made. So buy it.
I actually have that quote written on my by my desk.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's
like
very
that.
true. Yeah.
I like that. So we are going to get to the home buying process, and I don't even know if we have time for the break, but let's get started with the home buying process because I think they need to know this. And if you read the black, I'll read the red.
Sure.
Okay.
Or if you want to flip, we can do that too.
Okay. All right.
All right. Before you start, know your status. ¿Cómo se con status con situation financial? Basically, know what it is that you want and financially where you are in the goal that you want to reach. So qu'on est au village ton kai, commencer mettre kobo no kane, no kane séparé from your regular bank. Et puis commencer save so that you can start to buy.
So, what's your credit score? What's your FICO score? Ki numéro notre crédit ou combien FICO notre ou ye? Faut qu'on connaît bagay sa yo parce que c'est premier bagay yo pal mande ou le que ou relé en banque ou bien ou aller dans banque là ou bien ou relé en compagnie mortgage ou dit on besoin acheter un kay. Premier bagay là y a demandé oh qui crédit score est-ce qu'on connaît on nous checker ça lié. Qu'on y a demandé numéro social ou et puis yo même yo pal checker dans crédit bureau. Gen 3 crédit bureau, gen Equifax, Experian. And what's the other one?
Equifax, Experian,
TransUnion.
TransUnion.
Yo va checker tous les trois bagay sa yo pour yo ouais qui qualité moun ou ye. Est-ce que ou c'est un moun qui prend crédit et puis pas payer moun? Et puis tout bagay sa yo monte chaque mois, tout moun ou engagé ensemble avec yo dans business, yo reporter tout ça fait by Credit Bureau yo, c'est yo même qui gagne numéro credit score ensemble avec numéro FICO score. FICO score là, c'est les mêmes qui vraiment important. C'est les mêmes que yo utilise les ba ou intérêt que yo qualifié pour lui. OK?
Si FICO score plus haut, ça veut dire intérêt pas pour la moins c'est pour payer moins. Si FICO score bas, ça veut dire payer plus. So c'est reverse pretty much. Do you have enough saved up for a down payment? Est-ce qu'on gagne cob pour mettre sur là déjà? The most important thing, like I said, so qu'on est au village ton kai, commencer à save. Depuis commencer à passer, les dit qu'on aime village ton kai. Dans 6 mois, dans l'année, village ton kai, on commencer à chercher pour m'acheter ton kai. Pour comme là, ouvrir un canet, mettez cop sur canet. Little by little.
And what's your debt to income ratio? Cherchez connaît qui comparation crédit à cob que ou loué. Si vous avez crédit kai seulement si vous avez un crédit 4, moi encourage nous pour nous utiliser moins que 50% limite crédit 4 là. Par exemple, si vous avez un crédit 4 qui a une limite $3,000, vous supposez utiliser moins que $1,500 et puis payer bill crédit 4 ça chaque mois en l'air puis vous payer le jour après on est qui jour vous supposez payer li souvle dans jour que yo besoin nan ou bien avant pas payer l'après parce que sous payer li après y a chargé y a chargé late fee.
Yes.
Qu'on y a ou pas payer plus comme pour bagay là et puis tout yo chargé intérêt sous balance que vous doit.
Yes.
So si vous te ka payer chaque bagay que vous achetez sur crédit card là, si vous te ka courir payer li même là que acheter là, c'est ta plus bon pour.
Puis mon bagay au café, sous qu'on va pas acheter un bagay. Et puis on connaît la coûte $100. Ou gagne $100, ou ka payer cash avec, kebe $100, utiliser carte là pour ka aider crédit ou, et puis combien la vini payer le même moment avec $100. That's the best way for your credit score to increase quickly.
Montrer aussi ou son monde qui responsable ou kon qui gens pour utiliser crédit
Oui.
parce que tout bagay ça c'est un jeu de numéro, c'est un it's a numbers game is what we like to say.
Absolutely.
And you have to learn to beat them at the game.
Yes.
We recommend.
We recommend paying off all debt and having 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in an emergency fund before you think about buying. Liquid assets available to use when the unexpected happens. Basically what we said earlier about having, 3 to 6 months of expenses for emergencies, like we talked about plumbing, or Eldon talked about, the appliances in our home, all of them needing to be replaced, and having that much money or 3 to 6 months worth of payments or funds in your account available just so you can go there and take care of it right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to the next one. We're still talking about the home buying process, what you need to do to get started and engage in real estate. And if you're thinking about purchasing a home, these are tips that we're giving you. These are the things, the essentials really that you need to do to prepare yourself for that home buying process. So the first one is to get your finances in order. Okay, mettez l'ordre dans finance ou, étiquetez tout dans affaire de finance. Faut qu'on connaît, comprendre intérêt, comprendre les que vous prêtez l'argent, combien ça va coûter, pareil comme ça. Régler tout pareil. Si que nous nous payer pour tout ça que nous fait. So, no, budget yourself. Know how much your groceries cost, how much you're going to allot for groceries, how much you're going to allot for entertainment, how much you're going to allot for buying your clothes that you wear, gas in your car, everything that you do that costs money. Know where that money is coming from and just make sure it does not interfere with your ultimate goal of owning your home, because you have to save, like Greg said, in a separate bank account, the money that's going to go towards your down payment, because that's another thing that they're going to ask you when you reach out to that bank and to that mortgage lender. They're going to say, oh, how much do you have for down payment? They're going to ask you that, and they're going to want to see it too.
Yeah, they're going to ask for the bank statement,
Yeah.
or one you can print out at the bank, asking you like, this is how much I have, and which is could be 3%, 5%, whatever it is. The next one, fix your credit. Where's your credit? J'en ai parlé, hein. So qu'on est, on va acheter, ouvre la son caille, on range crédit. Et fait plus, payer plus sur 4 ans, payer plus sur acheter une machine, pay it off right away if you can, because that's one of the biggest expenses that, can affect your credit. And by paying it off and paying it off quickly, it'll boost your credit score much more.
And download your credit report, which you can get through your bank, or you can, if you ask them for it, they're not just going to give it to you, or you can do it yourself. You can go online to free credit report or annualcreditreport.com and download them for free. Take a look at them, read them. If there's any mistakes on them, you can write the company. You can write the agency or the credit bureau, or you can write the creditor that made the mistake and tell them to fix it or to remove it. You may or may not be successful. If it's something that you can't do yourself and you need someone to do it for you, then there are companies out there that you can employ to do it for you on your behalf. But you have to be careful because there's a lot of scams out there as well. Yeah. If you need help to do this, you can reach out to us, okay? Because we're realtors, we're your people. And so we're not going to steer you wrong. We're going to be there to help you, because at the end of the day, we would like to see you own your own home. And hopefully you choose us to help you get that done. Yes. So again, we're realtors. Feel free to give us a call. You can call us. Should we give our phone numbers?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can.
And that's a part of our process as realtors too. A lot of people think we just go out, show a home, and put in a contract and then see that closing. No, we work with clients sometimes, several months, a year, over a year, explaining to them the process and, and letting them know, if they need a lender, we can, maybe give them resource to a couple of lenders. I need to fix my credit. Okay, well, these are some of the steps that you could take to do that in order to help. This is part of our fiduciary duties
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
realtors.
So my number, if you want to call me for real estate, is 732-898-2344. Si nou ta vle rele el nan pou afe real estate, ou ka rele 732-898-2344. 732-898-2344. Greg?
Yes. My phone number is, you can reach me at 848-456-0573 and 848 456-0573. You can reach me there. Instagram, Greg Sells NJ. Also, I'm on Facebook, wherever, all social media platforms.
Okay. So the most important thing, one of the most important things is to start saving your down payment. Commencer serrer l'argent nou, si ke nou serye, nou bezwen achete kay, commencer mette ti kob lan sou kote, ouvri, ale nan bank lan, ouvri an account, Jean Greg diyan, mette kob lan nan bank lan, epi, pingo al touche lankor. Because part of the problem is
Yes.
we know that the money's there, and so when something comes up,
You
we're
wanna
gonna
use
want to go get it. I don't know. Maybe you need to hide that account number somewhere.
One of the things that I remember I did when I was looking for a house on the National Kai, I stayed with avec famille moi. I was still home with my family. I had in mind how much I wanted to spend monthly. So with our job, there's a program where you can take a certain amount of money and put it into a credit union or whatever. And I would just have them take that much, put it in the credit union, and I wouldn't miss it after a while because, I mean, my check looked different. But if I knew that this is what I was going to spend every month on a house, then, you know, it wouldn't be a hard adjustment for me. So vle fè sa, li ka ede yo. Ou pou kob nan, so konen konbe kob wapay depase chak mwa, son kay, sou ka fel. Konen kob wapay depase son kay, ou pou kob sa, metel la kane ya, ou pa wel, ou pa même sonje l même, ou pa misli, et puis l'on achete kay nan, et pou komanse pou kob nan, se pa un gros changement la piye pou.
Yeah, si ou ka fè sa, paske m konen pa tout travay ki bay kalite avantaj sa yo.
Yeah.
So, mande moun human resources nan travay yo, eske gen jan nou ka retire kob lan sou paycheck ou anvan ki ou resevwal pou l'ale nan bank epi kon sa wap save kob lan, e pa ou menm kap fel pou koto, se travay la kap eto feli.
Yes.
Epi, that way, you know, you don't end up spending it and
No.
it goes, right?
Yes.
And then it's pre-tax too, right?
Yes.
So
It's pre-tax.
it's
Yeah.
even better.
Yes.
And
It
that's
be-
going to help you with your taxes.
La ouve kane ya, fè so savings pou fè, ou ba bezè kat pou kane ya. Paske sou gen kat nan, sou da ba gen problem, se ale pou ale, ou ale nan ATM nan, ou ale pou kob nan. So pa gen kat, se desan pou desan machin nan, entre gan nan, ale nan window an, or si yo fèmè, bon pa gen lot jan pou ale pou kob nan. You know, you don't have to worry about it. You don't need an ATM card. It's the best way to help you save.
Yep. And once you did all of that, you fixed your credit, your finances are in order, you saved your down payment. Now you're like, okay, I'm in a good position. Then you want to find a realtor to help you to look for a home. But before you even call a realtor, like Greg said, you should think about where you want to live. You know, where would you want to buy a house? Because it's not like you can pick up after you purchase this house, you don't like the neighborhood, you can just pick up the house and move somewhere else.
No.
You got to live there,
Nope.
you know?
You're there.
So you want to make sure it's in a good place. You're going to be comfortable, you know. So some of the things that we say is you should drive around, you know, the towns that you're interested in, drive around and go through different times in the day, right?
Yes.
Go at night, go at lunchtime, go in the morning, see the activities that's going on, see who's, walking, who's lurking about, what's going on, so that you could say, oh, okay, well, this is okay because I've gone there several times throughout the week, different times, and I don't see anything crazy going on, or you could see the opposite and you're like, oh no, I saw this, that, and the third, and that this is not a place where I want to move to. So you can scratch that off your list and then move on to the next one. So do your work, do your due diligence. If you have children and you're looking for good schools for them, you want to look for a home in a good district.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what you want to do. Yeah. Don't leave it up to the realtor to make that decision for you.
No, they
Absolutely not.
No, we can't do that as realtors.
Right.
That would be steering. So that's legal for us.
And some will try to do that illegally, but you want to be the one that's in charge and the one that's making that decision, because the decision is really a lifetime decision.
Yeah, it's your decision. One of the best times that I've noticed to drive around and around the town is a Sunday afternoon, because everyone is usually home getting ready for the work week, and some may have dinner. You'll see kids outside playing, you'll see the family, so definitely I would say a Sunday afternoon where everyone is just relaxing at home and you can see the neighborhood. If they're waving hi and they're not looking at you funny or crazy, then
or calling the police if they see you.
Yes, then
in the neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to do your homework, your due diligence, and once you find that area and you think, okay, I'm ready to reach out to a realtor, the first thing you want to do before you call that realtor is to go to the bank or to the lender and get your pre-approval, because a lot of realtors, they're going to want to see that pre-approval letter because, they don't want to be your Friday night entertainment where they're showing you homes, every Friday night, and you really are nowhere near being ready to purchase a home, or you don't even have the proof that you're a serious contender, so you want to make sure that you do your work so you're not wasting their time and wasting your time as well.
Correct. Get the letter. Some places will probably tell you, well, we can't print out the letter. Ask them if they can give you the letter before they even run your credit. If they can't give it to you, then find another lender who can give it to you, because a lot of them will play games and say, we can't give it to you, or, it depends on this or that, and say like, all right, I'll just find another lender, but definitely get that pre-approval.
Yeah. Say that in Creole.
Oh, let pre-approval na. Depo ale nan bank nan ou moun nan ki ap bon kob nan, mande pou let nan. Yo ka di yo pa ka bon li, se yo pa ka bon li, ale ay chachon lot moun. Ay chachon lot lender.
And when you think you're all done, you're ready, you got your letter, you know where you want to move to. The other thing that I think is important to do before calling the realtor is to do your own research on Google. Go to Zillow, like just pull up an address. Like you drove around these neighborhoods, you have an address. Let me see how much this style of house, how much this type of house will cost, and just do a Google, go to Zillow, and you'll see, and then you'll have an idea like, okay, I could afford this house is like $300,000. Okay, that's within my budget. And the internet has such great resources.
Yes.
They have what's called a mortgage calculator out there. You can do your own like your own work in putting in like how much the house costs, how much of a down payment you're gonna put down, what your interest is based on your credit score, okay, and then you're gonna know upfront like how much your monthly payment is going to be with the escrow and everything else figured out into it.
Exactly.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it definitely is helpful. Sometimes even clients will ask me, what do you think about this? And I just pull out the mortgage calculator and do the math for them and show them and say, this is what it roughly will be. Not the exact price, but what it roughly will be.
Yeah, and then when you're all done, you did all your work, because we're gonna have questions when you call us. Then you can call us. You can call us. We're the realtor team. Nous c'est équipe realtor. Nous elle est la force, right?
Yes.
The force.
Yes.
So we're gonna be available to you once you call us, and we're gonna have a couple of questions for you. We're gonna ask you, what kind of home are you looking for? Where are you looking to look? How much were you approved for? When can we meet so we can get your pre-approval letter? The whole 9 yards. We do a little bit of background to get to know you a little bit by talking to you, and then we start to engage in a relationship of real estate transaction.
Yes.
Okay, and then we can look for that type of home for you, and then we can start going out to open houses or even do private showing.
Yes.
So our time is almost up. So we ended. We're gonna end it here. But next time, I do want to go into details about what exactly can a real estate agent do
Correct.
for the consumer.
Yes. Because like I said, I think sometimes people get confused. Just show a home, write a contract, and we're done. But there's a lot more. It's a lot more intricate sometimes, So we definitely work with you all the way until the end.
Absolutely. So I want to thank you, Greg, for coming and for doing this with me and for educating our people,
Thank you.
the
Thank you for
Haitian
having me.
community, and everyone else who's listening. I think it was really good. I think the information is very valuable, and I think it shouldn't be the last time that we should continue to get together like this and help out the best way that we can. I want to thank everyone for listening. Greg, do you have any last words?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for having me. Thank you for everyone who's listening to me. Merci un pile parce que m'apprécie moment ça pour me bailler bonne éducation pour acheter caille parce que son bail un investissement moi qui bien important. Lang moins lourd mais on connaît nous comprendre ça m'a dit.
From the Pilou. So thank you everyone for listening to Family Matters. Again, I want to remind you, if you missed us today, you can listen to us again tomorrow, Sunday, 3 to 5. And here are the ways to listen: WYGG Good News Radio, goodnewsradiotv.com, to Facebook, tune in WYGG, or you can dial in to phone number 518-906-1596. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon, everyone. God
Bye-bye.
bless.
Bye.
This is WYGG 88.1 FM